Fed up and frustrated, Ken Neal has seen well over a dozen of the tiny herd he grazes on Greenham Common slaughtered.
It's a real problem which we can't do anything about. The herd is virtually closed. We have no input of animals which could be infected, so they must be getting TB from the wildlife. We can shoot as many foxes, deer, moles as we want, but we can't do anything about badgers.
Local wildlife experts vaccinated 46 badgers against the disease last year.
We know it's a badger set partly because of the shape of the hole and partly because of the amount of material they've moved to create the underground chambers.
A national TB vaccine shortage has put a temporary stop to badger vaccinations, but culling remains controversial.
Badgers are only responsible for a small proportion of the TB that gets into cattle, but it does seem sensible to deal with that small reservoir. However, we think it's much better to do that through vaccination. It doesn't disturb the badgers. It's obviously a lot more humane.
In 2013, this area saw a handful of cats like Millhouse here and two of their owners contract bovine TB, the first ever recorded cat-to-human transmissions. But eradication measures are most firmly focused on cattle, and the number slaughtered here in Berkshire has more than trebled in the last year. The National Farmers Union says these figures for Berkshire reflect the encroachment of bovine TB from the west and even tighter controls on farm businesses. Disease is being found more and more frequently, and compensation for animals slaughtered doesn't reflect the actual loss to the farmer. Ken Neal is now anxiously awaiting the next round of disease tests.
Sort of stress, the nearer you get to the test, the more stressful it gets.
The government told us today its comprehensive strategy to beat bovine TB is on track to deliver what it calls TB freedom to more than half the country by the end of this Parliament. Nikki Mitchell, BBC South Today. Putting the finishing touches to a masterpiece which is about to be torched. Building breathtaking bonfires has become an annual labour of love for Luckley House School's caretaker.
My nephew's daughter gave me the idea. She was doing a project at school about Pudding Lane. So it was Macy, and I've named the bakery shop because that's where the Great Fire of London started, in the King's Bakers. I've named it Macy's Bakers.
Last year it was Big Ben which went up in flames. The Houses of Parliament and Westminster Palace have also been set alight here in Wokingham.
Everybody comes along, has a lot of fun, and they're always asking, well, what are you going to do next? And then they're commiserating because it's going to set fire to it and it's going to be gone.
And we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Gonna let it burn, burn, burn.
It's amazing, like the butchers and stuff actually have meat, and like there's rats and spiders.
It'll be sad to see it go up in flames,
But it'll still be cool to like sort of relive the Great Fire of London.
It doesn't bother me about setting fire to it because I look at it as just rubbish that I just collected over the year. So it's just rubbish really, just painted.
Pudding Lane is not on the same scale as this reconstruction of the Great Fire of London staged on the Thames in September, nor is it open to the public as this one was. But the anticipation ahead of getting the fire started will be the same.
Believe it or not, that is quite nerve-wracking. I always get like butterflies, you know.
We can light it up, 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 so they can't put it out, out, out. We can light it